All right, help me lift it up on here.
Okay.
Ready? And lift and push. Push up. So this is not a woodworking tool. I do a woodworking channel. So why am I about to unbox and review a lawnmower? Because we need to mow our grass, right? My name is Robert Dailey, owner of the Dailey Woodworks YouTube channel, where we help you build great furniture most of the time. Other time, we buy new tools and we test them out. If you follow my channel, you know that my two favorite brands of tools are pretty much Makita and Festool. And I've got a lot of Makita battery operated tools. Makita makes a 36 volt and 18x2 21-inch self-propelled lawnmower. I didn't have a lawnmower. I needed a lawnmower for our house.
And look at that.
So I'm trying this thing out to tell you what I think about it. So we're going to open it up, and then I'm going to cut to basically a time lapse of me mowing my yard with it, and then I'm going to come back and you can come back too. And then kind of tell you my thoughts, if I'm going to return this thing, if I like it and I'm going to keep it. I hope I can keep it. I hope it performs as well as gas. I came from a 190cc Honda mower that was great. I sold it whenever we were doing all of our house moving stuff, and then I had a lawn care service here for a while, and I decided, like, hey, I could use the exercise, save the money, and over the summer I'll pay for this guy. This set is the Makita 36 volt 18x2 LXT 21-inch self-propelled lawnmower kit. It is model number XML11CT1. This came with 4 batteries, a dual port charger, and of course the lawnmower. And it was $4.99. It was on sale. I'm going to link to it below. It will be an affiliate link to ToolNut. I am an affiliate with them, which means if you decide to buy any tools from ToolNut with my special link, I get a small little kickback and you don't pay any extra. I paid for this with my own money. ToolNut didn't sponsor this. They didn't reach out to me, anything like that. I bought it, and now we're going to open it up together. All right, grab right here and pull. Pull harder. Pull as hard as you can. Wait a second. Are we upside down? I see a lawnmower. Okay, pull. Huh, that's not working.
You know, maybe we should start the weed eater first.
We'll get the weed eater next video, so be sure to subscribe because we're going to have the Makita 36 volt weed eater that also came with 4 batteries, so it was a good deal as well.
Why is everything out of batteries?
Because that's the way technology and society is moving. All right.
No, it doesn't push me off.
Oh yeah, I don't want to push you off. All right, pull.
Oh my God.
Ah! Oh no, I already broke it.
You broke it. We just cut it out of the box.
Batteries. Okay. So Makita has apparently 2 versions of this. One is their quote-unquote more professional line. That's a metal deck that takes 4 batteries. This apparently is more their consumer line, but it was about half the price as well. And it's a completely plastic unit.
It's solid.
Everyone gives plastic a hard time. It's like, oh no, it's made of plastic. But modern plastics are pretty awesome. It saves the weight. It's plenty strong enough. It's, you know, you don't drop something on it and it dents. It's not going to rust. So I don't really have a problem with modern plastics. All right, so it's got 2 pins right here to lock it in the folded position. And so you can fold up this thing to store it, which I'll probably do.
See, I told you have to do like that. Oh my God.
Because I do want to store it inside, and I can't open it all the way. It's got a 2 or maybe 3 position handle. No, it's a 2 position handle.
I'm not going to be able to reach that.
No, you won't be able to reach it from here. And so let's go ahead and fold it back down. And then I'm going to go ahead and fold the handle back. So that's how it can store right there. To the best of my knowledge, this takes a standard lawnmower blade. So you can put any blade on here. Can't really tell. Again, plastic deck. back discharge for the mowing apparatus. Stop for a second. If you're gonna bag, you pull this guy out. It weighs 80 pounds, I believe, so not light, but light enough where, you know, light enough where you can manhandle this thing and get it where you need. It's got a good handle right here. The settings are 1 through 7. I really like that. You get pretty good height adjustment with one lever, and then it locks into place. That's super easy. I really like that. That's a good design. So now it's time to essentially charge up the batteries and put this guy to work and see what we think about it. This thing is crazy quiet and acts like it, and seems like it wouldn't have any power to it, but it's going pretty good. Got medium speed right now. Super duper quiet. I kind of like it. My grass hasn't gotten away from me yet, so I really can't tell how good it's gonna do in thick grass. But now I gotta let him have a turn. Thicker St. Augustine over here, that's gonna push this guy a little bit harder. It handled that thin, not very good patch pretty easily. It's really quiet, so it doesn't sound like it's doing anything, but it seems like it's cutting well. And so this will be a better test of its actual torque and power. So let me make a few laps with that and we'll get back to you. All right, we are pretty overgrown right here, so let's give it a shot. Going pretty slow. Bog down just a little bit. But overall, it gave a pretty decent cut. Seems like right here it didn't kind of knocked over instead of cutting. But yeah, I think that's passable. All right, so we stalled out right here. I was pushing through and it died right here. No warning on the indicator light or anything like that, but I've got a little red light, so not sure what happened there. Let me restart it. So to start it, you have to push that button in and then pull this red lever. See, it looks like it got a pretty good hunk of stuff in there. I did learn in the instructions this can do a rear discharge, and right now I'm mulching, so I think I'm gonna switch it to rear discharge so I can spit things out a little bit better. I don't bag, I don't like bagging. Yeah, see? Ooh, these guys are hot. So my batteries might be dead already. Those batteries do not last very long if that is the case, and that is actually quite disappointing. Batteries got really hot. I removed this plug in the back that will discharge out the bottom right here, so that should prevent it from clogging up as quick, but we shall see. 2 fresh 5.0 batteries, and now we're gonna see how it does. With the rear discharge going, it's noticeably louder, and you can see how it's coming out the back. It's kind of messy and sloppy in my opinion. But it doesn't seem to be working as hard either, so there you have it. With the mower? Yeah. Alright, Daddy's trying to see, kind of get it figuring it out still. Let me make a full round. I want to go around 2 times, okay? So there's plenty of room for you to stop. So the question is, should you buy this lawnmower? That's why you watched the video. That's why you're here, right? The answer is a maybe, which is the sucky answer. I know. I like a black and white, yes, you should buy it, no, you shouldn't kind of thing. Kind of like a track saw. Yes, you should buy one. Okay, so here's my maybe and the disclosure behind it. As far as power, as far as what it can cut through, it's fine. Now, if you're extremely overgrown, gas has more torque. If you're like, you go out of town for a month and you don't mow and you've had a lot of rain and your grass is kind of thick, it's going to cut it. It's going to cut right through it. It revs the engine up whenever it demands more torque, revs it down when it doesn't. What I found is the thicker your grass is, the shorter the battery life is. That makes sense as the motor's having to work harder. Whenever it's going through, like you're mowing every week, every other week, like you should be doing, then you're just clipping that top edge. The motor's not having to work hard. The batteries last a lot longer. So all that's good. The self-propelled works. It's got a nice throttle for speed control. It's super quiet. I really like that. It's also safe in that, you know, you can start and stop it really easy. I actually let my son mow with my supervision, making sure he was safe, letting him start mowing with it. I'm happy to do that because I make him stop it at every turn and then restart it. I don't know if the starting and stopping uses more energy to start and stop it than just keeping it going. I would imagine if there's like a fly wheel or something spinning up to keep that momentum, maybe, but it's got an electronic brake, so as soon as you let go, it stops. Now, as far as battery life, for me it ate through batteries, but I also have a very large yard. Large enough I probably should have looked harder at riding lawnmowers than a push mower, but I really wanted to try this out, and then I have another property that I'm going to be managing and cutting the lawn there, so having a small little push mower that I can get in and out of things really easy with is still worth it to me. The mowable area of my yard is 12,936 square feet, approximately. You can measure yours on Google Maps. Just switch to the satellite view, right click on a computer, and then you can drop a pin and then measure distance, and it'll also give you the area. That's how I got that number. I live on essentially what's 3 lots in my area. The average lot in my area is about 7,000 square feet. So you subtract about a 2,000 square foot, give or take, house plus a garage and concrete, things like that. The average neighbor of mine has 3,000 square feet of mowable area and 5,000 square feet of mowable area, depending on their house, lot size, etc. We live in an older part of town. It's not very cookie cutter. If I had that average, not super scientific, not a large enough sample size, but just I measured a few yards, added it together, divided by the number, there you have it. About 4,100 square feet. My mowable area is about 3 times more than the average mowable area. So that right there tells me that for my yard, I should have stuck with gas, because I'm having to change out the batteries, you know, twice on my front yard, twice on my backyard. So what is that? 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm going through 8 batteries to get my entire yard done. Now with a yard a third of the size on average, that's fine. That's, you know, front yard you get with 1 set of batteries, backyard you get with the second set of batteries. That's more than adequate for, I'd say, most people. As far as things I like about it, because there's no gas, you can fold this thing up, lay it sideways, horizontal, upside down, at an angle, and it's not going to leak anything anywhere. There's no oil, there's no gas, there's nothing to leak out anywhere. It's sitting right side up in the corner of my shop right now with my weed eater and the blower I got, which I really like, that I can store it really compact out of the way. I don't like the eating through the batteries. Power-wise, it's fine. Use, it's fine. Cut quality, I guess, is fine. But that's something you should look at. So if you have a smaller yard, say, I would say about 4,000 to 5,000 mowable square feet, I think you're going to be fine with this lawnmower. If you have a bigger yard than that, then you definitely want to just probably stick with gas or a different type of electric mower that has, you know, a larger battery capacity. This is kind of a compromise mower using two 18-volt batteries, but the advantage is, like me, I've got like 12 Makita batteries for all the different Makita tools I run, so it was a natural choice for me. I hope this helps. If you like this video, give it a like. If you disliked it, give it a dislike. And if I've earned your subscription, please give me your subscription. We primarily do tool reviews for woodworking tutorials, all that kind of stuff. And be sure to check out our new channel that's coming, the Dailey Homestead, where we're going to document the building and making of our homestead of the property that we just bought out in the country. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.